Hey everybody, welcome back to Brainiac Baseball Card Breaks. Today for Time Travel Tuesday, we will be opening a box of 1992 Stadium Club. This is the Series 3 edition of the set, and as you may know, there was 900 cards in this set. Clearly one of the largest sets that Topps has ever made. And because of that, being the junk wax era, a lot of these cards don't hold a lot of value. But I was looking on eBay to see what cards in the junk wax era were going well, selling well for being graded a PSA 10. And as it turns out, card number 604 in the series is a Ken Griffey Jr. card, and it recently sold for $255 on eBay. So I'm like, why not take a shot, see if we can pull out a couple Griffies in this box, and if they look good, maybe I'll send them in with my next graded set. So we'll see how it turns out here. This box is in rough condition. I picked it up at our local card shop, and they had 4 boxes of these with, Series 3. And, this was actually the best quality box of all of them. So, I chose this one. We're going to get into it. This is probably going to take a few minutes. I'm not going to waste a lot of time, going through all the individual cards like I normally do. I'm going to attempt to just find the Griffies and the Barry Bonds, which are 2 of the better cards that are available in here. Everything else is not so great. Packs look like they're pretty tight, still sealed. I was kind of, concerned about maybe them being pre-searched since the box had been opened and there was no cellophane on it. But it looks all right. So we're going to take a look here and see if we can find some Griffies. Oh, these are all bricked up as well, so that's going to be kind of tough. So let's see. Oh, there's a Nolan Ryan. That's always a good start. I think he's the 3rd best card in this series. So we have Ryan and Denny Nagel and Paul Kilgus. I was hoping we'd be able to just blow through these, but I guess with the condition they're in, it's going to be really, really challenging. Yeah, this is going to be a lot tougher than I anticipated. There's Phil Plantier, who at one point his cards were really sought after, but he didn't turn out to be quite the hitter that was anticipated. So no Griffies, no Bonds to start with. There's 36 packs with 15 cards in a pack. The pictures, it says here that it's super premium Kodak quality. So I guess Kodak was maybe sponsoring the Stadium Club photos back in the day. Look, there's Greg Maddux. This was 1 year after he won his first Cy Young. Reynoso, John Wayner, Jose Gonzalez, Kim Batiste, Rob Murphy, Hubie Brooks, Eddie Murray looking strange in that Mets uniform, and Dave Winfield in his Toronto. So a lot of these Hall of Fame players from the 70s and 80s are certainly at the end of their career. Frank Viola, I met him once. He's actually a really nice guy. Let's see. Jeff Doherty, Hector Villanueva, Randy Myers, Turner Ward, and Scott Fletcher. On Saturday and Sunday of last weekend, if you didn't already check them out, you should. We did, on Sunday, we did Allen and Ginter. We did 2 boxes of Allen and Ginter, and Found some pretty good cards in there. So this is a Bobby Bonilla member's choice, and this is the version that we're looking for with the Ken Griffey Jr. Photo. It's number, so yeah, the Bonilla is 608, and I believe the Griffey is 604. So yeah, Kyle Abbott, Chris Jones, Sammy Sosa, Phil Pecota, Bonnie Ferris, Carl Willis, who was the Tigers pitching coach for a little while, Ike Horn, who was a side armor, Fitzgerald, and Jeff Reardon. All right, so we're on pack number 4, 32 more to go. Yeah, these are all rough shape. There's a Goose, Alan Anderson, Scott Aldred, a lefty that the Tigers had some real high hopes for, didn't pan out. Kevin Ward, Rick Cerrone, Mike Stanley, Alvin Davis, Herm Winningham, Junior Ortiz, John Farrell, Rudy Sines. Hey, is Gibby in a Pirates uniform? That's also strange. Ed Nunez, and Doc in the Members' Choice card. Yeah, the Members' Choice collection, those 10 cards in this Series 3 are really the only cards that have any value, and even that is minimal. But like I said, the Griffey card, well, there's a Barry Bonds right there. That's great. So yeah, the Griffey card did sell for $255, which is not so bad. I guess it's worth sending a Griffey in to see if I can't get it graded a 10. Okay, so we have Dwayne Henry, Jeff Parrott. There's Barry Bonds. Let's see, how does the quality of that look? Not too bad. A Bonds PSA 10 sold for $32. So not fantastic, but it's Bonds. If he ever gets into the Hall of Fame, then maybe those cards will go up a little bit. Yeah, Mike Witt, Scott Kamenicki, Bob Zupsik, Leo Gomez, Wally Joyner, Juan Bell, Kenny Lofton, maybe has a Hall of Fame chance, and Andres Galarraga, Chuck Knobloch. I almost feel like I should have taken them all out of the box and then taken them out of the wrappers just to have an advantage on being expedient with this. All right. So Edens, Davis, Hesketh, Steve Howe, Scott Scudder. It is kind of nice to see some of these old cards. Some of my favorite players from the 80s and 90s. Dick Schofield, Kevin Seitzers, Bobby Bowe, still getting paid by the Mets. Andre Dawson, Chuck Krim, Barry Jones, Terry Leach. There's another Member's Choice. Chuck Knobloch. And Scott and Bever. Okay, let's see. So Patrick Lennon, Patterson, Hillman, Ron Darling in the A's uniform, Mark Leiter, Mike Witt, Ted Wood, Willie Blair, Keith Miller, Tony Pena, Charlie Hayes. Son's playing for the Pirates right now, Brian Hayes, and Dave Martinez. Yeah, the baseball playoffs started today, and I was watching a couple of the games earlier. Looks like the White Sox had a 4-0 lead late. That game's still going on right now. So I'm probably much like the rest of you, I'm going to watch, it's a checklist, I'm going to watch the late game tonight, the Yankees. That's another Dick Schofield. So we're already starting, even with 300 cards, we're already starting to get duplicates. Another Bobby Bowe, Hawk, Edens, Glenn Davis, Steve Howe, Steve Wilson, Mike Jackson. So the only good thing about, already starting to see the same collation over again is that, possibly we could get a couple Griffeys, and maybe I can choose between a couple of them on which one would be best to get graded. So there's Maddox again. Yeah, so same collation. Tom Browning, perfect game thrower. Von Hayes, Kamenicki. Oh man, let's see. Storm Davis. Matt Young, Cabrera, Gant, Eric Davis, Kurt Stillwell. Yeah, now that all the Griffey cards have gone up in value, I guess it makes sense to take a chance on some of these junk wax era cards. If they look good, maybe it's worth sending them in, getting them graded, at least maybe for your own collection, even if you don't, try to turn them around. Here's our second Bonds. So set that one aside. If you are unaware, I actually have a store on Mercari under Brainiac Baseball where I sell some of my baseball cards. I have some pretty good deals there. It's under Brainiac Baseball. If you do a search for it, I'm sure you'll come up with it. And perhaps if I can find, a couple of Griffeys, I'll put one on there. And maybe you can decide whether it's right for you to purchase and send in to get graded. All right, let's see. Corey Snyder, Fleming, Rich Amaral, Jeff Branson, Bob Melvin, manager of the A's, Jeff Robinson, one of two Jeff Robinsons of that era. I couldn't tell you one from another. Lance Dixon, Greg Olson, Melito Perez, Ken Hill, Rosario Rodriguez. I mean, how do you even choose to make a 900 card set, right? I mean, like, whose idea was that? If you watched Time Travel Tuesday from last week, we opened up a box of AA cards from 1991, and I mean, like 20 to 30% of those cards in a 650 card set were all coaches and managers. So totally unnecessary. And although these photos are really nice, even Randy Johnson, big unit, like 900 cards, I guess they were really expecting kids to, spend all their money to try to put a 900 card set together. Hall of Famer Robin Yount. Oh, Members' Choice also. Yeah, what I'll probably end up doing is I'll probably keep all the Members' Choice cards, maybe the Hall of Famers, and, give some away or take them to Goodwill or something like that. Maybe get some young fan an opportunity to start collecting. Gary Sheffield, Sutcliffe, Mark Parent. Oh, there's another Nolan Ryan. No, that's the second Nolan Ryan of this 300 card set, so it's a member's choice. Let's see. Gil Heredia, Mark Leiter, Jeff Innes, Dwayne Ward, Denny Nagel. Denny Nagel was famous for making train noises. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but if you pull it up on YouTube, there's probably a video of him out there making train noises. That was like his specialty. Okay. I think we're maybe about halfway through the box. And so far, no Griffeys. If I get through the whole box and there's no Griffey, I mean, I won't be out a lot of money because this was a minimal cost to me, but I will be seriously bummed. If you did watch last week's Time Travel Tuesday, in that AA set, all I was hoping for was a Tommy, a Pudge Rodriguez, and Jeff Kent, but especially Pudge, since he played for my Detroit Tigers, and he was instrumental in getting the Tigers back on track after years and years of losing. And so, I have a fondness in my heart for him, whether he used steroids or not, But of course, of all the cards that were in there in that set, I did not get one Pudge, so that was a little bit of a bummer. Let's see. So Mike Morgan. Let's see. Dwayne Henry. Oh, there's a third Barry Bonds. So, man, hopefully there's more than one Griffey in here. Tomlin, Eric King, Bruce Ruffin, Mariano Duncan, Al Newman. Hello, Newman. Dan Pasqua, Dennis Cook, Chris Hammond, Rick Aguilera. Okay. Oh, I saw Barry. I'm like, is that another Barry Bonds? So it's just Barry Jones. Kevin Mitchell, Esteban Beltre, McReynolds, Doug Davis, Gary Scott. He was a one-time big prospect who did not pan out. There's the other Jeff Robinson. Todd Benzinger, Dave Wainhouse, John Morris, Ruskin, Mike Prez. Oh, there's Ozzie, Hall of Famer. This is well past his days of doing backflips. He probably could do a backflip right now, to be honest. Tony Gwynn, one of my favorite all-time players. That's a good photograph. We shared the same birthday for what it's worth. And Brian Drummond. Drummond Noodles, as I like to call him. Okay. I should have just taken these babies out in the first place. Let's get this big box out of the way. So, we have 3 Bonds, a couple Nolan Ryans, and 0 Griffeys. And I know these aren't searched. I mean, you can just tell by the fact that they're sticking together. So, I mean, I'm certain of that, but I mean, that would be a real bummer. Okay. So I have Greg Swindell, Valdez, Mike Bielecki, Swaim, Wainhouse, John Morris, Ruskin, Mike Perez, Ozzie again, Tony Gwynn, Drummond, Wegman, James, Jeff Bellard. I don't want to get too worked up over, some junk wax cards, but I'm definitely going to be pissed if there's no Griffey. I guess there's 3 more boxes there at the store. If they're still there, maybe I'd try again, but I certainly wouldn't open them up on for a Time Travel Tuesday. Bo Jackson, here's a nice card. It's Time with the Sox. Burba. Don Robinson. Tim Belcher. Steve Sachs in a White Sox uniform. That looks bizarre. Bankhead. Wilkins. Bollinger. Tony Gwynn's older brother, Chris Gwynn. Gereltz. Dennis Rasmussen. And Joe McGrain. Does a great job on the MLB Network. He has really good stories. Him and Plesac. Okay, we're getting down to it now. I mean, we're well past halfway. Matt Sinatro. Sabes. Todd Worrell. Bob Welch. Bob Welch won 27 games in 1 year. That was amazing. Jack Morris, Hall of Famer. Charlie Huff. Mark Carrion. Danny Martinez. El Presidente. And perfect game thrower. Sandy Alomar. Barry Hill. Phil Stevenson. Rick Parker. Tim Sherrill. Hojo Members' Choice. Hojo was a thing once for my Tigers. Came up in the farm system. And Milt Hill. Okay, so what are we down to? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 16 packs plus this one. So we're just a little over halfway. So Slusarsky, Rusty Meacham, Doug Henry, Jose Rio. At least we're finally getting some different cards. So that gives me a little bit of hope. Dave Island. Gary Carter, the kid. Torey Lovolo, manager of the D-backs. Roger McDowell, the pitcher who's catching. Mark Dewey. Rico Rossi. Andy Stankiewicz, and some other guy. Okay. If there's like a Junk Wax era card set that you'd like to see opened, please feel free to add it into the comments, or one you would recommend that actually still has some value. And I'll do what I can to search for those. We have Dave Gallagher, Donnie Hill, Wayne Rosenthal, Eric Bullock, Jose Lind, Hernandez. There's Tram, one of my favorite players. David Wells, perfect game thrower. Steve Farr, Hudler, David Segui, Juan Guerrero, Pat Listash, Mike Christopher, Andy Ashby. I mean, like if you just showed up in uniform in 1992, they gave you a card. And if you wore a uniform to the game in the stands, they probably took a photograph of you, right? I mean, 900 cards is insane. There's a George Brett on the back. I think that's a member's choice card as well. Jeff Manto, George Bell. Awesome hair, perfect hair. John Russell, Clay Parker, DePino, George Brett, member's choice. That's a nice card. Ruben Amara, Paul Kilgus, Julio Valera, Eddie Zosky, Tom Candiotti, Danny Gladden, Dan Tartable, and Deion James. One more. Pete Incaviglia. Never played, never had one at bat in the minor leagues. Got drafted, went right to the majors for the Rangers. You don't see that happen too often. I think there was that pitcher for Kansas City. The name escapes me right now, but his first game ever in the majors was a playoff game in relief, which is a pretty gutsy thing to do. Jeff Branson on the back here. Okay, Branson, Wayne Edwards, Dickie Thon, Wilkerson, Rio, Mike Moore, Wilson Alvarez, Ossenmacher, Brooke Jacoby, Danny Boucher, Jack Armstrong, there's Corey Snyder again, Rich Amaral. Oh, there's that Barry. I didn't realize Barry Bonds had another card in this set. So, okay, so we have 4 Bonds and 0 Griffies. You can't tell me there's not going to be one Griffey in here. I mean, that's insane, right? I mean, it's not like it's short print or something. It's part of a 900 card set in a 300 card series. The odds are we're going to find one, right? But we got like 15 Jose Rio wearing his awesome 80s glasses. Mike Moore, Valdez, Bielecki, Dale Swaim, Gallego, Tom Candiotti, Dan Gladden, Tartable, James Fleming. There's another Barry Bonds, George Bell, and somebody. Man, if you're a Barry Bonds fan, this is definitely the collation for you. I know that if you stuck around for this long, you're probably going to stick around to the end because you just have to. There we go. Finally, we got one a junior. Looks pretty good, right? I didn't screw it up by unsticking it. Looks good. So it's a possibility. So, okay, we got one. I have no right to complain the rest of the way. Let's see if we get 2. I guess it's time to get greedy. So, there, Kurt McCaskill, Ted Power, Paul Gibson, Wade Taylor, #1 overall draft pick, I believe. What was his story? Does it even say on there? Nope. But I think it was something like that for the Yankees. He was a high first-round pick, if not #1. I can't remember. Doug Jones, Greg Jeffries, and another player who had some highly collectible cards his rookie year. It just didn't go all the way. Solid hitter, though. Okay, we're down to our last, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So got 10 packs to go. Trying to keep this to under 30 minutes, so we're getting close, I guess, to that now. I see a Tony Gwynn on the back. That's always nice. Okay, this card is always stuck. There's another Randy Johnson, Paul Sorrento, Gary Scott, Benzinger, Jack Armstrong, Ruskin, Mike Perez, another Ozzie, another Gwynn, Bill Landrum, Checklist, Swindell, and Bill Wegman. So one Griffey, lots of Barrys, few Nolan Ryans. Those are the 3 best cards, as I mentioned earlier, in this 300 card series. So we have Royce Clayton, Nixon, Donald Harris, and it's Jeffries again. So we're seeing a lot of the same cards twice from the next collation. So I really have to believe there's going to be another Griffey in here, right? Yes, that looks rough. Bill Kruger, Mark Langston, McReynolds, Doug Davis, Brad Arnsberg. This is quite an undertaking. I think if I ever do another box of this size, I will try to prep it or something. Bobby Witt, Bannister, Greg Vaughn, Garcia, Blankenship, Jody Reed, Darryl Kyle, Eddie Taubensee, Bob Walk, Jeff Shaw, Jeff Ballard, Robinson, another George Brett, Slusarsky, and Mark Dewey. And I still like the Stadium Club series. I'll buy a couple boxes of it every year just to have some in my collection. It's not one that I look forward to, but when it comes out, I'm always like, okay, I need to pick up some of it. Okay, so Foster, Champerino, Willie Randolph, late in his career. Jose Mesa, also known as Joe Table. Tim Naring, Neil Heaton, Junior Noboa, Lefferts, John Smiley, Wetland, Smith, McCaskill, Kevin Mitchell. All right, we're coming down to the wire. If you stuck around this long, I really appreciate it. Like and subscribe. You'll be notified of all the future Time Travel Tuesdays, plus our box breaks on the weekend. All right, so Landrum, Leiter, Jeff Innes, Ward, Don Plurble, Ski, Miller, Pena, Charlie Hayes, Rodney McRae, famous for running through the wall in AAA for the White Sox AAA team, Dave Martinez, Swindell, Wegman, Chris James. I think after that happened to Rodney McRae, I think that was like the #1 blooper video for ESPN for the decade or something to that effect. If you haven't seen it, you should definitely check out the Rodney McRae video. Davis, Mike Stanley, Rick Cerrone, Kevin Ward, Fetters, Aldred, Alan Anderson. There's Gossage, Archie Cianfrocco, Rene Gonzalez, Bill Swift, and Jeff McKnight. I see a Doc Gooden there. So